Everything's shifting from here. So go ahead and send your right leg high from your downward facing dog. And then step your right foot outside your right hand for that wide, low lunge. We've been here before. Reach your right arm up and take the twist. Really open through the chest here. See how broad you can get by reaching up the right hand and pressing down through the left hand. Press your left heel back a lot. Squeeze your low belly into the inner right thigh, and then keep hugging your right hip in towards the center once again here. So you get a nice stretch into the outer right hip, right thigh. Nice. Right fingertips down. Tent yourself up on both hands. Straighten your front leg. Pounce pose. Bend your left knee. Flex your right foot off of the ground. Tendency for the right hip to pop out to the right side here. So once again, squeeze both outer hips in towards the middle. Spring off of your back foot into that wide yogi squat. Left foot outside left hand. Hips are a little higher than usual. Right fingertips under the face, left arm up as you straighten your left leg. Reach up through the left hand. And then take your left hand to your low back. You can thread your right arm here underneath the right and take the bind behind you if that's possible. If that's not possible, then you'll keep your left hand down and just do the half bind. And if you get the bind, you can start to straighten both legs to the best of your ability and reach up through the gaze. Let the head drop. Keep pressing your right tricep and your right thigh in towards one another. So you can let the belly get a little heavier in towards the thighs by letting the head go even more. Put a little more weight into the toes without the heels leaving the ground. Great. Release your right fingertips down, left arm up if you're not there. Thread your left arm underneath the right. Rise all the way up and back. Step your left foot to the middle of the mat. Take your right leg over the left. Eagle, wrap your arms, Garudasana. You can hinge your way forward as the elbows drop in towards the knees. Dome the back body. Let the shoulder blades widen across the back and then wrap around the sides. Keep your arms as they are. Slowly unravel your legs. Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3 with the eagle arms. Reach your right leg back. Tilt your chest forward. Let the back of the neck be long, but the gaze is slightly forward. Press back through the right heel a lot. Step your right foot way back, high lunge. Arms up by the ears. Good. And then level it off. Release your hands down to the ground. And then tuck your right knee outside your calf, your front calf. Right toes down. So your left leg is crossing over in front of the knee. You can tent your fingertips here. If your seat can drop down towards the back heel, then it's almost like you're sitting on your back heel. And you can stay with the fingertips down. You can even put blocks here, or you can take your hands into a prayer for the seated meditation. Squeeze the legs together a lot. You can stay here seated, or if you want to play with side crow here, twist your way here towards the left side. And then you got to go high on your toes, and you're clipping this right tricep outside the thigh. Plant the palms, tilt the chest forward maybe, and then rock your weight forward. Squeeze the thighs together, let them stay wrapped. Right? Totally optional variation for those that practice side crow. Take a few breaths there to work with it. If you're still in your seated meditation, either with the fingertips down or hands bouncing, right? So it's almost like a tiptoe bounce variation. And that's where you'll be, and that's where you'll breathe. See if you can open the chest even more in your tiptoe balance. Great. If you're side crowing, come back to center. Everybody, take your hands down. Step your right foot way back. Step your left foot way back. Down dog into your vinyasa. Plank to chaturanga. Meet you back in the shape. Adho Mukha. Take a few breaths there. Regather and prepare. Your left leg that rises this time, step it forward outside your left hand. Strong through the back leg right away, and then reach your left arm up here. Wing the chest open. Hug the outer hips inwards again. Lay back into the heart. Press the ground away from you through the bottom hand a lot, so you don't just sink all the weight onto your right shoulder and your right wrist. And then find that twist right from the belly button. Twist the belly button closer to the inner thigh. Keep hugging the front knee inward so it doesn't just splay out to the side. Both hands down on fingertips, pounce pose, straighten your front leg, bend your back knee. So you can keep the gaze slightly forward here as you flex your front foot off of the ground. Stretch open into the left hamstring. Good. Spring the right foot outside your right hand. Tense your left fingertips underneath. Twist to the right, right arm up. Straighten your right leg here. Dive the right hand to your low back. Half bind. If you're staying here, this is where you'll stay. If you're going further, thread your left arm underneath the left thigh. Hands will find one another behind you, and they'll take a clasp here. And if you're going further, straighten the legs, both of them to the best of your ability. Reach up through the seat, drop the head in. Put a little more weight into your toes without letting the heels lose their anchor. Keep pressing the left tricep into the thigh to help you twist even more. Good. Free up your hands if they're bound, left fingertips under the face, right arm up, everybody. Eagle the arms, right arm underneath the left, roll your way up. Nice. And then reach your left knee up into your chest. Garudasana. Bend both knees deeply so you can get a tight wrap of the left thigh on top of the right. And then start to bow your way forward. Elbows dropping in towards the knees. Scoop up the belly. Hug the outer left hip back because it'll want to twist forward and then to the right with you. Breathe big into the back of the heart. Feel the ribs expand. And then slowly keep your arms as they are, but release your legs into warrior 3. Unravel them. Send the left leg long behind you. Point all 5 toes of your left foot down towards the ground so that the left hip doesn't splay open. Both hip points pointing down so the pelvis is pretty neutral. And then bend your right knee so that you can step your left foot way back. High lunge. Reach up through the forearms. Open the back of the heart. Again, that space between the shoulder blades gets big. Deep bend of the front knee. Let the hips descend a little more. Then level off your gaze. Release your hands. Low lunge, fingertips down. Slide your back knee outside behind the right calf. You're in the seated meditation here, right? And it might take you a little bit to kind of play with the distance between your feet to see where you feel more sturdy. So it depends on the length of your legs. Take your time there. Okay, and then you have your option again to either stay here in center, either with the hands down or on blocks. Maybe you can stay upright, suspended, doing the tiptoe balance with your hands at a prayer here at your chest. You can stay here, or those of you that want to twist to the right, fingertips down. Find that connection of this left tricep into the outer thigh. And you use that to twist even more, right? So if you don't want to arm balance, you can even stay here and find the twist. And this is your preparation one day for that side crow. And then those that are going to the side crow, you'll plant your palms down, shoulders width, right knee outside the triceps, squeeze your feet up, look forward, right? Take a few breaths there. If you're in your seated meditation, tiptoe balance, that's where you are, whether with the hands to the ground or at your chest, right? One variation is not better than the other. Play within your vessel. And then when you're done, hands back down, step your left foot back, step your right foot back. Take a vinyasa here. Meet me in a downward facing dog. Good. Come on forward to a plank pose. Just drop your knees down into all fours, hands and knees. Point the toes back, flatten the tops of the feet down as much as you can. Check to make sure that the hips here are right over the knees, shoulders right over the wrist. So take your time to set up the foundation. Right arm up, inhale, thread the needle. We've been here. Dive your right arm underneath the left armpit. Drop your cheek and your temple to the ground or to a block or a rolled towel or whatever it is. Reach your left arm forward. And then here, this left hip is going to want to draw to the left side. So think about pushing it back into the middle. Reach your left arm up. Dive your left hand to your low back. or your left hand might even find the inner right hip crease. And when you take that, make sure again that this left hip doesn't start jutting out to the left side. Keep strongly drawing it back into center. Right, so you have a steady center to twist against. Press down into this right shoulder here, and then bend your right elbow, take your right hand to your left shoulder, and let that support the left shoulder and help you open and twist through the chest. Check back in with the left hip. Is it popping onto the left side? If so, draw it back in. Check in with the right shoulder. Are you dumping the weight down? If so, press down into the right shoulder and reach up through the right hand. It's like you could try and lift the left shoulder up towards the ceiling. And then don't forget to breathe, of course. The most delicious part of the breath. Let that travel through your body. Good. And then slowly unwind all of that. Release the right hand, release the left hand down, come onto all fours. Let's kind of give it a little shake out there, whatever you need. Maybe a couple of cat cows, rounding the spine around there, C curving if you want it. And then let's take the other side, left arm up, inhale. Thread the needle, left arm under, set up whatever support underneath the cheek here that you need, right, with the block or a pillow or a rolled towel, right arm forward to start. Check in with this right hip. Is it popping out to the right side? If so, draw it back into center. Reach your right arm up, half bind. And then bend your left elbow and take your left hand up here into your right shoulder and open into the front of the chest more. Broaden across the collarbones. Check back in one more time with your right hip. Did it pop out to the right side when you took that? If so, back into center. Check in with the left shoulder. Are you just sinking all your weight down with no engagement? If so, press down into your left tricep and left shoulder, and then press up into your left hand. Right? Imagine you could spread the skin of the right shoulder even more across the right shoulder there. Hug the outer hips into center. Breathe fully. Amazing. Slowly unwind that. Release your left hand down. Release your right arm up and then down, right palm down. Press on up. Hands and knees, all fours. Drop your belly, look forward, cow pose, round into your cat. Any extra movement that you need here. And then let's take several breaths in a child pose, balasana. Take a moment. If you don't need the rest and you need heat and you have a headstand practice, take any variation of Shirsasana that you want to work on. You can have it the classic variation with the hands interlaced behind the head, or you can play with the tripod one, or any other arm variations. But if you're staying in child's pose, let the hips get heavy in towards the heels, let the mind get quiet. Let the mass of the body just listen to its own intuition and go where it needs to go. Right? When the body goes, the mind will follow. Super. Down dog. Tuck the toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana.